we have made it to the final automotive episode for the month of August. This one is going places. So unless you have an electric car, the first thing you need to go places is gasoline. Hopefully you already know how to pump gas, and hopefully you are pumping it for your parents every time they stop at the gas station so they don't have to get out of the car, especially in the cold months. But in case that's not how you do it, we're going to make sure you can start doing it after watching this video. We're going to begin by talking about how expensive gas is. You pay for gas by the gallon. So those signs you see at the gas station is telling you how much it is for 1 gallon of gas. Think about a gallon of milk. That's how much you're paying for a gallon of gas is what's on that sign. Most gas stations have rewards programs that you can download an app on your phone, you can sign up for their rewards, and you can get your gas for cheaper. JC, Casey's, Thornton's, pretty much all of them have some kind of rewards program. Let's start with Casey's, the app that I have on my phone to help save money on gas. When I open my Casey's app, you can see that I have 350 points. So if I hit choose reward, I can get Casey's cash, fuel discounts, or cash for a classroom. So I'm going to hit fuel discounts and redeem my 350 points, which gets 7 cents off a gallon. Here's another helpful app. It's called Gas Buddy, and it shows you gas prices near you. So you can see Casey's in Pekin is $3.59 a gallon. You can also switch it to map mode, where it'll show you all of the gas stations on a map, and you can determine who has the best price. So in Salem, Indiana, here are the gas stations and their current prices. We're at Casey's in Pekin, and I'm about to show you how to pump gas. So if you've never done this before, pay attention.
And next time you're in the car with your parents, offer to pump their gas for them.
When you get to the gas station, it's important to know which side of the car your gas cap is on. If you look at your dash, there will be an emblem of a gas pump. There will be an arrow that points to either the left or the right, and that's how you know which side of the vehicle your gas cap is on. So if it points to the left, it's on the driver's side. If it points to the right, it's the passenger side. All vehicles are different, but in mine, you have to pull this lever to pop the gas cap. In some vehicles, you can just open the gas cap. So before you take the nozzle out or anything else, you got to make sure you pay first. Otherwise, it's going to tell you to go inside and see the cashier. So you're going to slide your card in. Put in your PIN number. Make sure nobody can see it. And then pull out your card. If you remember, I already put in to use my Casey's rewards. So I'm going to enter my rewards now, and it's just my phone number. I'll get a receipt. And now I'm ready to pump gas with my Casey's points. So you never pull that one out. This is diesel. That is not what you put in your vehicle. You want to grab the one that's going to say 87, 91, or 93. This is the type of gas you're putting in your vehicle. There's unleaded, premium, and premium plus. I'm going to hit the 87 for unleaded. And start filling up. Now when you pull the lever down, there's a little hook here that you can push down so that it'll pump by itself without you having to stand and hold the pump. Here, what you're seeing, this is the total cost, and this is how many gallons that I've put in my vehicle so far. So right now I'm not quite at 3 gallons, and I've spent a little over $10. So if you remember from my app, I'm getting 7 cents off a gallon as I pump gas, and that does add up in the total. All right, it'll click off automatically when your tank is full. Pull it out, stick it back in the lever, make sure you screw your gas cap back on, and it'll click when it's tight, and it'll print out your receipt. So I'm curious how many of you actually pay attention when you're riding in the car to how you got where you're going. I definitely did not before I got my driver's license. There was a Walmart like 15 minutes from my house growing up, and I'm pretty sure when I got my driver's license, I didn't know how to get there, even though I had been there 1,000 times. But now it's pretty easy. When you get your driver's license, I'm sure you're all just thinking, well, all I have to do is put it in my phone, and my phone will tell me exactly how to get where I'm going. That's great. Honestly, I have probably become too reliant on this. I was thinking just the other day, there's a place up in Columbus where I've watched my boys play a lot of baseball games. I've probably watched at least 100 baseball games there over the years. But without this, I don't know if I could get there. And that's embarrassing to say because I've been there so many times, but it's automatic. I put it in my phone and I just listen and I watch, and that's how I get there. But it's truly helpful if you actually understand the roads, know where you're going, and even look at a road map.
I live pretty close to a lot of the construction that goes on, and I'm often on walks with my family, and I have a lot of people that stop and they want to know simple things like how to get from Salem, where we are, to the other side of Salem. And the GPS that they have is showing them how to go through all the construction that's going on. So there are times, believe it or not, that your cell phone is going to fail you, or GPS will fail you. One time I was I had my phone and we were going to the beach. My family lives in southern Alabama. We were going to the beach, and on our way to the beach, our phone died, the one that we were using. And so we took a back road that we thought was where to go. And long story short, we didn't get to the beach that day, but we did find a really cool restaurant.
Hey guys, I'm usually a pretty good navigator. However, I was on my way to a motocross track that I had been before, and I was about 5 minutes away and my phone died, my GPS. And so I was like, oh, well, I know how to get there. It's no big deal. Actually ended up taking a wrong turn and ended up in a state next to me.
Hey, so I was driving around the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is the little piece off the top of Michigan that's not connected to Michigan, and it has a lot of trees and a lot of very sketchy roads because to us it's not as populated, and so there are a lot of bears as well. We're driving around the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and our GPS stops telling us where to go. We knew we had to get to this highway, the main highway, and we were going to take that all the way back to the city we were supposed to go to, but we didn't know how to get to that highway. So we get to this road and we just turn on it because it was the only place we could go. It was a gravel road, it was a one-way road, and it was surrounded by nothing but trees. We were on it for about 20 minutes, just kept driving and driving and driving, and finally we got to the main highway, but we're almost stranded up in the middle of nowhere with no signal, and all we had was our phones and our GPSs that didn't work.
So just in case your phone dies, you're stuck in construction, you have no service, you lose your phone, you drop your phone in the toilet, or bears eat your phone. Let's learn how roads work. This is an actual road map. You can pick these up at most gas stations, or even if you stop at a rest area on the side of the road, you can typically get them for free. Check out how big this thing is. It's because there's so much detail on it. If it wasn't this big, there's no way you would be able to see all of the mile markers and everything you need to see. Here's a road map of the state of Indiana. First, let's talk about directions. On a map, up is north, right is east, down is south, and left is west. Here's an easier way to remember. If you go in a clockwise circle, it's an acronym for Never Eat Sour Watermelons. Another way to remember west and east is by knowing that it spells we. So when you're traveling from Indianapolis to Louisville, you're going south. Louisville is south of Indianapolis. When you're traveling from Louisville to Indianapolis, you're going north. Indy is north of Louisville. If you're traveling from Salem to Scottsburg, you're going east. Scottsburg is east of Salem. Most vehicles have a place that will show you which direction you're traveling. Mine is located on the rearview mirror. So if I'm traveling from Indianapolis to Louisville and my vehicle says I'm going north, there's a problem because Louisville is not north of Indianapolis, it's south. so I probably need to stop and make sure I'm not going the wrong way. Here's a fun fact. Interstates in the U.S. that run from north to south are odd numbers, and interstates that run from east to west are even numbers. So I-65 runs north and south, and I-64 runs east and west. Interstates that are 3 digits, like I-265, are just connector interstates. They either connect 2 interstates or they connect an interstate with a highway. So I-265 connects I-64 and I-65. This circle of interstate that goes around Indianapolis is I-465, another 3-digit number because it's not a main interstate either, it's just a connector interstate attaching all of these main interstates. All of the main interstates will only be 2-digit numbers. When you're on the interstate, there are mile markers. They're the small green signs. You'll see these signs every single mile, and they're either counting up or they're counting down to the next state line, depending on the direction you're going. And every exit on the interstate is numbered by its mile marker as well. For example, if you're traveling south on I-65 from Scottsburg, you'll be starting at mile marker 29. The Scottsburg exit is labeled as 29. That means you are 29 miles from the next state line, which is Kentucky. As you travel south, you'll pass a mile marker every single mile. So after driving for 1 mile, you'll pass 28, then 27, then 26, and so on. When you get to mile marker 19, that's the Henryville exit. Exit 16 is the Memphis exit. Exit 7 is the Sellersburg exit. So that means Sellersburg is only 7 miles from Kentucky. As you get on I-64, you'll notice that the Greenville-Paoli exit is number 119. That means it's 119 miles from the next state line, which is Illinois. And it continues to count down as well. So let's say you're a high schooler. You just dropped a friend off at his house after school and you head for home. Your phone just died and your charger won't work. Your friend lives in the middle of nowhere and you have no idea where you're going without your GPS. You can get a decent idea of where you're going if you just pay attention to the direction you're headed and use some common sense. If you know your friend lives close to Salem and you live in Pekin, which general direction do you need to go to get home? North, south, east, or west? East. Pekin is east of Salem. That's why it's called East Washington. So if you're headed home, your vehicle should show that you're going east. If your vehicle doesn't have a compass to give you the direction you're headed, you can look at the sun. The sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. So if it's after school, the sun should be headed on a path to setting, which is in the west. So that means if you're headed east, the sun will be at your back. Teachers, this is a lot to take in. Please give your students some scenarios this week and help them learn to navigate the roadways.